Ever since its release and subsequent success in 2004, Fate Stay Night has spawned numerous spin-offs, adaptations, follow-ups, prequels, and even its own franchise known as the Fate series. This franchise by Type Moon, part of the larger Nasuverse, has spawned numerous other entries with their own separate continuities, with light novels, manga, anime, and of course video games over the years. And for a franchise as popular as Fate, it's no big surprise that they have their own dedicated mobile game entry. One, in fact, that has already been well established in both Japanese and English markets. Fate Grand Order, released on June 25, 2017 for the international market, is currently on its 5th year, having just celebrated their most recent anniversary. And so we have to ask ourselves, is Fate Grand Order still worth playing in 2022? Stay tuned to find out more. Fate Grand Order's screen uses a horizontal layout for its in-game HUD, of a mobile device's screen for both its battles and numerous in-game cutscenes. The battle screen itself is quite simple. Your team of characters, known as servants, are placed on the right side of the screen, while your enemies will always appear on the left. To attack your enemies, the player, who is also called the Master, must press the attack button on the lower right side of the screen. Doing so will reveal a random set of cards in 3 different colors, with red representing Buster, blue representing Arts, and green representing Quick. Buster attacks do massive damage, Art attacks help to increase the NP meter of a servant, and Quick attacks generate crit stars. Having the same servant use 3 cards in a row allows them to perform an extra attack on the enemy, dealing additional damage. When the servant's NP gauge is filled to 100% or more, a servant can perform their Noble Phantasm, which is their unique special attack to raise hell with. Each NP is unique to each servant, who then possess their own personal skills to wield, such as healing the party and removing debuffs, performing a massive attack on a single target, attacking multiple enemies, or even bluffing the user and/or the party. In addition to NPs, each servant also has a unique set of active and passive skills. And finally, the Master comes equipped with a Mystic Code, which are costumes to allow them to aid their servants in battle by applying one-turn skills to them. These skills function similarly to the active skills used by a servant. All this makes for an easy-to-learn yet somewhat difficult to master system. Once you do learn the ins and outs, however, defeating enemies, even some of the most difficult of bosses, can be a piece of cake. While not the game's biggest selling point, the relatively simple gameplay loop is enough to keep many players hooked. Fate Grand Order's biggest attraction, however, is its story. With 2 major story arcs, Observer on Timeless Temple and Cosmos in the Lost Belt, plus an interquel arc, Epic of Remnant, set in between the aforementioned 2 arcs. The protagonist, a master in the Chaldea Security Organization, must save the world from various threats trying to end human civilization. To achieve this, you, the other members of Chaldea, and various servants from different parts of human history and even alternate timelines must travel to the sources of the anomalies scattered around the world and more. As of this video, the US version of the game is currently at Lost Belt 5.1 Olympus, the midpoint of the Lost Belt storyline. Future updates to the game, based on the current progress of the Japanese version, plan on implementing 2 more story chapters for this year, Lost Belt 4.5, Imaginary Scramble, and Lost Belt 5.5, Hellrealm Mandala Heian Kyo, the former of which is a limited time event. Overall, the story, especially for a mobile game, is quite detailed and engaging. With 5 years worth of story content currently in-game, with more content coming in the near future, the sheer number and volume of said story chapters, plus its diverse cast of characters, is sure to keep players invested and interested for a very, very long time. In contrast to other role-playing games, where characters are leveled up following the conclusion of a battle, this is not the case for Fate Grand Order. Instead, to level up servants, experience cards must be used. The higher the rarity of an experience card, the more EXP it gives to a servant. To level up a servant to its maximum level, and as well as unlock all of their skills, players must use Ascension materials to perform an Ascension on them, which must be done 4 times. After this, It's still possible to level servants up further with the use of a Holy Grail, obtained from completing main story chapters and certain limited time events. A servant's active skills can be upgraded with the same ascension materials used to ascend servants, and with the use of servant coins, which are obtained by unlocking copies of a servant and leveling their bond level. Masters can unlock append skills, which increase a servant's attacks and resistances against certain servant and enemy classes. While this system can allow even early game players to possess powerful final ascended servants as early as the first singularity, grinding for these materials can be a bit of a chore. That said, the game has come a long way to mitigate this issue, namely by giving AP discounts for the quest at experience cards, limited time event shops, having 3-star and 4-star experience cards available for purchase using event currency, and finally, lottery events, where experience cards can also be farmed in massive quantity provided the player has sufficient points. Being a gacha game, to obtain most of the in-game servants, as well as the numerous craft essences that you can equip to servants for bonuses, one must summon them through one of the two methods, the Friend Point Summon and the Saint Quartz Summon. The Friend Point Summon, as the name suggests, uses friend points, which are obtained by using the support servants of in-game friends to summon. For this banner, the vast majority of servants summoned are of the lowest rarity, being mainly 1-star and 2-star units. On uncommon or rare occasions, 3-star servants can be pulled from a friend point gacha, alongside a few rare servants, such as Angra Mainyu, an Avenger class servant with a 0-star rarity. The second method is a Saint Quartz Summon, which uses Saint Quartz. These gems are the game's main in-game currency, which are earned from completing story quests, interludes, rank-up quests, certain limited time event quests, weekly and bi-monthly login bonuses as compensation for maintenance downtimes, and random giveaways by the developers. Alternatively, Saint Quartz can also be bought in different quantities through the in-game store. These banners are where 4-star and 5-star servants can be obtained. Of these, there are two types of Saint Quartz banners, the limited banners and the story banners. The former are banners that are available during the release of story chapters, limited time events, and other special promos such as download campaigns. Certain individual 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star servants are usually on rate up here, and will sometimes include limited servants and story lock servants into the roster. Due to this, it is often recommended to roll on these banners, as many limited and even story lock servants are made more easily available in the small window of time that these banners are up. The latter, meanwhile, is a permanent banner with no particular servants on rate up. While story lock servants can be summoned here, it can potentially take a lot of Saint Quartz to get the particular servant you want, so it is generally not recommended to summon on this banner. With the Japanese version of Fate Grand Order still updating even to this very day, and the North American server receiving that content in the 2-year content gap between the servers, it's safe to say that Fate Grand Order will still have plenty of fuel for its raging fire. What's more, as of August 2022, both the Japanese server and English server have just commemorated their 25 million and 18 million downloads campaigns, respectively, with the former having celebrated theirs last May, and the latter currently celebrating their commemoration event as of this video. These downloads campaigns, as their name suggests, commemorate each millionth additional set of new masters. Between the addition of new story chapters, the addition of new servants both originating from the game and other Fate works, new limited time events, several quality of life updates, and the aforementioned new commemoration campaigns, Fate Grand Order, in its 5th year on the NA server, continues to attract anime fans and gamers, both casual and hardcore, thanks to its top-notch storytelling, iconic characters, and easy-to-learn gameplay. If you haven't tried Fate Grand Order, now's the time! Now go out there, serve as humanity's last hope in saving the world, and summon your own set of servants on a quest throughout human history.